What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another pre-market watch list. We're going to get ready to rock and roll in this slow market. Today there are a few stocks. I mean, there's plenty of stocks, but you have ADMA, Pinterest, AMD. I mean, basically what we're just going to do is just throw together a couple popular stocks, a couple stocks moving with some volume, and then just send you on your way. Again, make sure you send this to your grandma, and I'm sure your first grade teacher that you haven't seen in 25 years would love to know what you've been up to. Should make sure to tag her in this video as well or share it to her or him. All right, first stock we'll talk about is ADMA, and the reason we'll talk about this one is because it's a popular one, because it's up this morning, it's a pre-market mover, it's a penny stock, so the whole entire world's like, come on, I want to play ADMA. Anyways, we'll walk you guys through this red line, that's resistance. I'll show you 1 year day chart, I believe. So if you go to the 1 year day chart, mark your one year day chart plus one deviation point, mark a trend line, mark a price point. Go to your 180 day 4-hour chart, mark a point at your plus one deviation price, and you will see that the market pretty much went to the plus one deviations and the 200 moving average and then sold off. We briefly went over the one deviation mark, but you can see how well this level reacted. Let me explain. You can see we went up to it, red candle, pushed over, came back down two, kind of held around it, jumped, came back down two, bounced, came back two, broke through, and now we're trending down. So the market was strong enough to get over this level by a little bit, but wasn't strong enough to continue pushing it higher. So as we got over the resistance, sellers took advantage of that and sold into the move, getting it to go back below the one deviation price point, and now the bears are in control of the move and they are winning. So for right now, this 231 price is the resistance on ADMA. I probably won't trade this myself, and I'm anticipating that you could see a pullback as low as about $2.14, and if you do see a pullback to the $2.14 to $2.08, that's where your first bounce point is probably going to exist, or the market will try to kind of hesitate in that zone. So for now, I'm bearish ADMA, don't like it on the bull side. I'm expecting it's going to come lower, and you might as well just mark off the potential support of 214 to 208, and that doesn't even mean you should trade it long when it gets there. But I'm anticipating that's a good chance we could see it at those prices. All right, next one on the list that we'll talk about here is AMD, because why not? So AMD is up. This was a recommendation from just a couple days ago, and earnings exploded too. So overall swing on this trade is working very well. We had picked price targets the other day of 88.61. This was just yesterday, I believe we mentioned these price points. So 88.61 to 87.77. That was going to be our next target on the upside for AMD, and you will see that pre-market / after hours, we ran right up to those. So off earnings, right? Look what happened. Off earnings, where did the move go to? It went to those price targets, right? So we picked the long-term trending half deviations. Not that you have to know exactly what that means, but really all I have to know is we picked long-term trend lines and said this is where the price should go. And sure enough, after hours earnings went straight up into that price zone, and it channeled for majority of after hours. And this morning pre-market, it broke above. We tried to run, couldn't hold the run. Look where it pulled back to. Pulled back right to that red line, and now we're trying to go back up, so on and so forth. So our next target on the upside for AMD is going to be the price zone of 91.50 to 94.78. It's a little bit bigger of a, wait, is that right? Yes. Wait. Hold on. That is right. So our next price zone is a little bit bigger. It's a little wider, but our next price zone that we're anticipating AMD is going to get to is going to be 91.44 to 95. I know that's a big price zone. To put it simply, it's more or less, I am not sure whether or not we're going to reject fully off 91 or if we're going to reject fully off 94. It'd probably be easier to reject fully around 94, only because that would put you higher into resistance points, but I do believe there is going to be some sort of pullback or harsher selling that does try to occur around the 91.40 before we would go to 94.50. So if we're going to go to 94.50, we should expect there's going to be a pullback at 91.50 before that happens. So overall, that's AMD for you guys. Okay. Next one on the watch list that we can talk about is Pinterest, P-I-N-S, Pins. So Pins has been holding a sort of a good base and good bottom here. I thought Pinterest was going to go lower. I'm already in a small short position on this. I thought Pinterest would go lower, either pre-market or into the open. So far, it hasn't done that. It's just kind of traded sideways and up a little bit since my entry, which is fine. So I thought it would go down, but I also know where it will go to if it really goes up. So if I'm wrong, and I could only be wrong for the beginning of the day and right later, you never know, but it looks like Pinterest is going to try to push higher with this formation you're seeing. So if it's going to go into a long on the day, we'll look for a long up to 71, and then we would look to be bearish off of 71. So again, if Pins is going to end up going long here, we'll look for a long move to, at most for right now, 71. Then we would look to be bearish off 71. If it gets to 71 and there's no bearish signals, then we would remain more long bias or bullish on the stock. If it gets to 71, we start to see sellers coming in, and then we go short, then we'll look to be bearish until it goes back over and does whatever and whatever. So for right now, your target on the upside for the day, if for whatever reason Pins goes up, it's going to be the 71 price point, which is the long-term, is this -1? I think this is -1 deviation. Yeah, so you're looking for basically a 4-hour tag at the -1 deviation for the bounce back up and the rejection back down. And then if for whatever reason, Pinterest just sells off out of the gates, then you're looking for a target down to 65.59 on the day. So again, if the market just sells down out of the gates on Pins, we can look for a move to 65.50s area, 65.60s. If it goes up, you're going to look for a move to 71. And then when it goes down to 65 or 66, whatever I just said, then you might look for a small little bounce or some hesitation there. And those are the two price targets I have for right now. If it goes below 65.60, then fantastic. I don't know, whatever, maybe it does, but I don't have that picked out as price point. I have resistance for intraday 71 and the potential target on the downswing move to 65.60. All right, that's that. Next one we'll talk about is NIO and Tesla. So as you guys have known, I've been kind of a cheerleader for the stock NIO recently. Yesterday, I had mentioned that it still has room to run. And with yesterday's video, our mention was that we did not have trending support on NIO, right? This move has been going up. I didn't want to buy it anymore until we had a pullback. Well, yesterday and into today, we have our pullback. The first pullback support level that I said the stock should pull back to, and we'll see if we can bounce it, was going to be the price of $40.70. That's actually a little bit different because the trend has changed slightly from yesterday till today, but today yesterday we had mentioned that we should see a pullback soon, and when we do, we'll look for a move down to $40.70 or that trend. Now when we go look at this chart, you'll see that we fell down to it, and as soon as we got to that price point for the first time, the market started to get bought up. Trying, but still failing. So right now, we are unsuccessfully holding our first bounce point. All right, so we're not going to be looking to get long here yet. We'll remain bearish for now. I didn't think that it was going to go this low. In yesterday's video, I said, I think we can go to here. I don't think we can go to here. Well, I might have been wrong. We might continue all the way down to the price point of, which will change at market open, but for now, 38, pretty much 39. So we might in fact trend all the way down to 39 on NIO, and if we do, that's going to mean we should be looking to be more long bias in NIO around the 38 to 38.90s to $39 price point today. Now the only reason I really think that NIO could potentially go that far down is if in the event you see Tesla continuing to have a bad day. The reason that NIO really went down is because it's been on a good run, needed a pullback, needed a breather, and because Tesla had a terrible day yesterday. You can see how well it sold down. Tesla has sympathy to NIO, NIO has sympathy to Tesla, blah, blah, blah. There you go. Tesla goes down, NIO goes down. So if in the event Tesla continues to have a bad day today or continues trending down, then we'll most likely see NIO go down. So the only way I really think that NIO is going to go all the way down to 39 is if in the event you see Tesla have another bad day, which then drags NIO stock down. Okay, and then we'll look to be more long bias for the trend continuation up on NIO. All right. Also, before I even say that, I just want to let you guys know, I'm a very short, most of the stuff we do is kind of short term. But you should be very mindful of Tesla, on its 20-year chart. Theoretically, on its 20-year chart, so really in the primary trend or the big picture on Tesla, theoretically we're in a downtrend, or the market's trying to start trending down because we're so overbought. You can see that we went up, came down, bounced, now we're starting to roll over again. So theoretically, Tesla kind of is trying to come down. So that's what makes me a little fearful of this, is that long term it does kind of look like we might be starting to do a downtrend here. But anyways, so that's Tesla and NIO. Lastly, we'll touch on the SPY and we'll touch on the NASDAQ, and I'll let you guys go. So I think our recommendation yesterday was that the market was going to be bearish on the NASDAQ and on the SPY. Sure enough, it was. We mentioned that this was going to be the resistance. You can see the market opened up. We tagged it to basically the penny, and then we sold off. So yesterday we told you exactly where the resistance was going to be on the NASDAQ and how you would come to get that resistance. Therefore, it doesn't really matter. It sells off, comes down. That was expected. Now you should probably go back to being maybe not bullish just yet. Maybe not bullish just yet. Yeah, generally, I'm still a little more bullish on this. I don't really have the feel that we're just going to roll over and tank or anything like that. So for now, I think you should still be more long bias on the market overall. I think we're just going through a slight little pullback before we continue higher. In the off chance that this continues rolling down, right, if this really is meant to go down and sell off, then you're going to see it come down to prices of about 337 or so. If it's really just meant to go through a dip, get bought up, and continue higher, you probably shouldn't see it come too far or really below the price point of 338.59. So for continuation up and continued moving, you'll see the market hold a 9 moving average. If the market wants to continue down, be slightly more bearish, then you're going to see the market come through that price point, and you're going to see it swing down towards 337. All right. I'm not even going to touch on the SPY because they're pretty much the same for right now. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you today. Hope you learned something new. See you guys on the next video.